Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy Saturday. Alice and I are out here in the backyard garden. We're getting ready to harvest some of the summer crops that are coming online every day. Over here, see, we've got some good serrano peppers. These look like jalapenos.
This one is big.
I like to throw these in my juices, especially, and just eat them right out of hand, actually. So over here we've got the white nectarine tree, and these fruits are now looking like they're good to go. Why don't you go ahead and harvest some, honey? Beautiful looking fruit here. We've also been harvesting some of the Babcock white peaches, and we're getting a really delicious crop this year.
Ooh.
Oh, you can't wait. Yeah, they're so delicious. Oh, they're all perfect.
They're all perfect, honey.
I'm gonna eat this one.
I just hold it and then it was dropping in my hand.
So sweet and juicy.
And I don't need to climb, honey.
Yeah, no need for a ladder on this dwarf tree here. Look at the juice. So this tree's been in the ground for 5 years. This is the second row of fruit trees that got established in the backyard food forest. And next door over here, we've got a sweet treat pluary. And we've got a few decent fruits on this tree this year. Nothing to really brag or write home about. But here's a fruit, babe. You want to give it a try?
Yeah. Mmm.
Yeah.
Tastes good too.
Yeah. So again, this tree's been in the ground for 5 years. It was put in as a whip, so it's probably nearly 7 years old at this point. And I've gotten fruits off this tree before, but we did have a bit of a pest issue this year. That kind of hindered the crop. But as you can see, it looks very similar to a plum pluary, a plum and cherry hybrid. Absolutely delicious.
I'm gonna harvest more. Easy.
Easy harvest with these dwarf fruit trees, kept pruned small.
I have to share to my sister.
The grapes are getting really close now. See, we got some good purple. I mean, this is actually pretty much ready to go. Alice posing with a bunch of grapes.
Jangan.
Beautiful. Sarap?
Yeah.
I just want to give you guys a bit of perspective how tall these dwarf fruit trees are at this time of year. It's July 13th, and I'd say these trees are nearing 14 feet, some of them. I had them pruned down to about 6 feet tall at the beginning of the season, so they do grow very fast. It'll be good timing to come out here sometime in the next week or so and do a bit of summer pruning. What I don't want to do is open the center too much and allow too much sunlight into the canopy of the tree because that can actually cause some sun scald on some of the scaffold branches. But I do want to maintain the height and help the tree to put more energy into some lateral growth. So I'll be doing some of that coming up real soon.
I like it. Our backyard is full of vegetable and fruits.
Oh, look at these. Look at these dragonflies.
Did you feed the fish?
Not yet.
I want to feed.
The fish are doing well, and you can see here how the shade is covering about a third of the pond at this point. It's around 1 o'clock, and as I had mentioned in the past, I've got this sun sail or sunshade above here. This is a triangular shape, and I have it set up in a way so that at 3 o'clock, when the sun is the strongest and beating down on the pond is 75 to 85% covered in shade. So the shade is going to continue to move this way as the sun gets stronger. But the fish are very happy. Alice is about to give them a little bit of feed.
This one, she eat a lot.
The pond's doing good. Some people have inquired about when am I going to get the rest of the pond build series videos up. Those are coming real soon. I'm sorry for the delay, guys. But I'm going to get the rest of those videos up and put it together in a playlist so it's very easy to follow if you're interested in making a pond like this. As you can see, we do get a lot of other wildlife coming in because of the pond. A lot of times you'll come out here and you'll see the bees and the paper wasps, which are both beneficial to the garden, coming in, getting a drink. Just as I said that, here comes a paper wasp. So they'll come in and land on a rock, like this guy here, and get a little drink. But we got dragonflies always zipping around here, and hummingbirds coming in for a drink and a quick shower. So this has really just been an excellent feature to include in the food forest. It's very relaxing, just the sound of water just coming out here, sitting out in the garden. It's great, so I highly recommend it. It does take some care and maintenance to keep everything going, just as everything does in life. You can see the dragonfly coming into the frame now. There's two. So yeah, it creates a lot of action. The hugelkulturs are producing quite a bit at this time. We're constantly harvesting. Other than the squash, we have things like basil and greens, longevity spinach. A lot of the greens are really taking off now. The purple tree collards, dino tree kale, after having gone to seed, are now really exploding with a lot of new green growth. Show you, here's an example of one. This is a self-seeded volunteer. Got a few crispy edges here. It's getting a lot of sun, but for being summertime, it's really doing great. Some more volunteer greens, just doing excellent in the summertime. Ooh, bumblebee.
It is inside that flower, the yellow one. Just look. It's inside. The bumblebee, the one that you put.
So here we've got a kabocha squash flower. That's what that bumblebee just flew into. Alice was out here yesterday harvesting a bunch of these flowers, and she made like a soup or a stew. Was there a name for what you made, honey, or did you just put a bunch of garden veggies in there?
Garden veggies.
So it was just kind of like a freestyle recipe? How was it?
It's good. I like it, and I have to bring at work today. You know, it's fresh from the garden.
Tell us about that squash growing there, that white one. So what is that?
Squash.
What kind of squash?
I pick up the seeds in the Seafood City.
Yeah, so Alice and I both grew kabocha squash from seed. I had told her that, because she collected some seed from a grocery store purchased kabocha squash, I told her that there's a good chance you're not going to get kabocha because it may have cross-pollinated with another squash. And I actually purchased some fresh seed that I knew was going to grow true, and we got some really nice kabocha from that seed. That looks more like a blue Hokkaido squash. It's definitely edible, but it's different and it's beautiful. But yeah, there's certain varieties, especially squash is one that's going to cross-pollinate extremely easy because there's so much pollination going on. Anytime you're out in the garden, you're going to see the bumblebees, the bees flying around cross-pollinating. So unless you've just got one variety of squash growing, there's a really high likelihood that you're going to get some sort of a hybrid, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes you come up with really great new breeds of plants that way. For example, I'll show you over here. I've got this little zucchini patch. I just took one of our older zucchinis, chopped it up a bit and buried it under the ground. And so there's a bunch of plants growing in a mass here. And you can see we got some zucchinis here, but they're lighter green than a typical zucchini that you would grow. So I'm thinking there's probably something like a crookneck or something kind of blended into the DNA of the plant, which is fine. I'm still going to harvest these and spiralize them, put them in my juices.
That one is ready.
Yeah, that one's ready. So before we go, I want to ask you a question. What is your favorite thing about growing a garden at home?
Eggplant, tomato, okra.
Well, those are you.
Opo.
Well, those are your favorite vegetables.
Yeah.
My question's more, what is your favorite?
Fruits?
No, like, what's your favorite aspect of growing a garden? Like, is it the convenience of going out into your yard and harvesting, the flavor? Like, what is your favorite aspect of gardening at home?
Oh, my favorite aspect at home? It's bring me happiness, especially in the morning when I wake up. After I make my coffee and I went to the fish pond, feeding the fish, and after that I just walk around, look our food forest. That it brings me joy and peace. And now I harvest these fruits. This is the one my favorite. This.
Babcock White Peach, guys.
Yeah.
That's Alice's favorite. That's her favorite fruit this year so far?
Yes.
Wow.
And yesterday, that you don't know, you're looking at me, I am in the food forest. Keep eating this one. Keep eating. By the time I get out in the food forest, I'm so full.
That's the best way to do it. Well, thanks for sharing that.
And usually during my day off, I'm going to the market and buying something to eat. But yesterday, I didn't spend money. Just walk around in the food forest and I eat the fresh fruits. And I'm so full.
And you made your dinner from vegetables from the garden.
Yeah, I pick up and I cook my dinner.
And the last few times that you mentioned you were going to go to the Asian market, I said, why don't you just try to make something from the garden? And then you would do it.
Yeah.
And then every time we'd be like, oh, that was a good idea. And we saved money. And it's fresh, you know, utilizing what we grew.
Yes, you see me. Usually I'm going out and spend. Then going to where?
Yeah, then you also go to other stores because
Yeah,
you're
until
out and about.
you know, until spend.
Just being a consumer like we all are.
But
Well, I'm happy you shared that with everyone. It's nice for me to hear it too.
it's a big difference.
So I'm in agreement with Alice. That's one of the main benefits to having a large food forest style garden, or any garden for that matter, is just being able to get out in your yard, get out in nature. It's like an escape from just all the noise, electronics and everything. It's like a quick getaway. It's definitely one of the main benefits. Brings you joy every day, even when you're not harvesting. You can go out and just enjoy, you know, being around the plants, being around the birds and the bees and everything flying around. Might sound corny, but it really is relaxing and can contribute to your health greatly. Those grapes look really good.
Yeah. Sometimes, honey, you know, it's a big benefit if, like, sometimes I'm going out, I cannot avoid spending money. Sometimes I am buying something, and when I get home, I said, oh, I don't need it, you know, just only for the eyes.
Mm-hmm. These are the Thompson seedless grapes called Red Flame or Flame. So they're on the smaller side, but they're very delicious, easy to grow. So check out over here in the hidden hugelkultur bed. The amaranth is getting quite tall now, and we've got a bunch of little okra flowers. So here's a little okra growing. And you harvested some okra yesterday too, didn't you?
Yeah. All vegetables I mix, and it turned good.
So I think I'm going to come out here today, a little later, and cut back some of the lamb's quarters now. It's starting to go to seed, which is fine, but I'm going to kind of open this up, open the canopy up, and let more sun in for the okra. And you can see we've got ground cherries growing tall in here. Still not quite ready to eat. Anyway, guys, so that's our video for today.
And with that,
we appreciate you guys tuning in. And with that, we wish you all a great rest of your weekend. Until next time, this is Dan
and Alice
from plantabundance.com. Have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.